Aloha. This video will show you how to set up a new Laulima site using the template provided by the Office of Distance Learning here at the University of Hawaii at UHWO. You will need to use your UH username and password to log into Laulima. This is an example of a new site. There are default tools that are included on the left side. Everything is still blank. What we are going to do is use the template provided by the Office for Distance Learning to fill the site. This template will include pre-selected tools, formatting, and images to help you prepare your course site. To begin, we will need to start with the new site. Click on Site Info, and then choose the Import from Site tab at the top. Since there's nothing in this site, we'll choose I would like to replace my data, and then click on the UHWO Course Design template. Now we'll choose the tools that we'd like to import from the template site. In this case, it will be all of them, but if you decide that there are some tools you don't want to include, you can check or uncheck the boxes to select those tools. Depending on how busy the system is at the moment, this process may take up to 15 minutes, but in some cases during the off season, it will happen pretty quickly. So in this case, when I refreshed, all of the tools imported from the other site and now appear in my new site. So this is the site that I'll be using for the fall, and now I can access all of those tools here in my brand new site, and I can begin to edit them and personalize them for my course. The first tools that we see at the top here are the Overview and Announcements page. These tools will provide immediate information to your students when they click on your course site. Next, we'll see the Start Here page. This page is very helpful for providing an overview for your class and how to use specific tools, as well as providing information about how students can work their way through your online course and what they can expect from the course. You can click on the paper and pencil icon to access the text box and make edits for any of the information that's located on this page. Creating a Start Here page is a good beginning for any class and a good point of reference for any student who may need some help during the semester. Next, we'll see the Syllabus Tool. Providing a place for your students to readily access your syllabus throughout a course can make it very easy for them to stay organized and stay on top of what needs to be turned in. In this case, the syllabus is being hosted on Google Drive and is embedded here in the Syllabus tab. So the instructor can make edits on Google Drive and it will show up automatically within the Syllabus tab. Students will have access to the syllabus through Google Drive and they can download copies to their own devices. This template also includes instructions throughout the site about how to do different things in different tools. Each of these boxes can be deleted before the sites are published by clicking on the trash can icon. One of the features of this template are the polls that are included in different lesson tools. They are a painless way to check in with your students about their progress throughout the course and throughout each lesson. The lesson tool can be used as a point of delivery and distribution of coursework and class material. Each week is formatted with the same structure that can be edited to meet your own needs. You can post your course material here, as well as links to assessments or discussions. You can include multimedia, such as videos, audio clips, and links to your PowerPoints or other types of presentations. As the instructor, you can switch into Student View to get a preview of what your site will look like when your students are accessing it from their end. Notice that the polls provide a place for students to keep track of the information that they have completed and where they stand in the course. You can go back into instructor mode by clicking on Exit View. The Resources tool is sort of like a digital filing cabinet for your course. You can upload a copy of your syllabus here, or readings, different images, or even links to different websites that you might want your students to access later on. Clicking on Edit Details will take you into the settings for each folder. You can make these folders available or unavailable to students, as well as adding specific metadata that might make sense for your specific course. For this template, in order to edit the overview page, or the first page that my students will see when they come to this course site, I need to access the correct file within my Resources tab. So the first thing I'll do is click on Resources, and then click on the folder labeled Overview Templates page. I'm using the Overview page UHWO white, and when I click on Edit Content, I'll be able to edit the text within the file that I plan to use for my overview page. After you have finished editing, click on Continue to save your work, and then go back to the same file and click on Edit Details. Scroll down and click on the File Details tab. We want to copy this URL to add it to our overview page. Now we'll go back to our overview tool and click on the Edit button at the top. Now paste the URL that we copied from the resources file that we worked on here in the site info URL, and click on Update Options. Now let's take a look at the email tool. This tool will allow you and your students to send email to members within this course site. Emails can be sent from the Laulima site, but they cannot be answered from the Laulima site. To do that, you will need to log into your UHGmail. The Assignments tool is a place for you as the instructor to post assignments for your students to work on, and a place for them to submit assignments when completed. You can adjust the settings to create specific open and close dates, set due dates. You can also do grading within the assignment tool and have those grades connect to the gradebook in Laulima. The Forums tool can be used to facilitate online discussions within the Laulima course site. As the instructor, you can create different forums and add different discussion topics, and your students can reply to your discussions as well as class members' discussions. This tool also allows for integrated grading, so you can review your students' contributions and provide grades within forums that will show up in your gradebook. The settings in this tool will also allow you to set open and close dates for your discussions. Tests and quizzes is another tool that can be used for assessment. You can create an assessment based on one of the 13 different question types that are available in Laulima. Students will be able to access the assessment within the Test and Quizzes tool in Laulima once you've published it, and you will be able to grade their work and add it to your gradebook. Notice there are two different tabs. Working copies means it's all in draft form. Published copies means that it's available and accessible to students. So keep that in mind when you're working on things. Now let's discuss how to accomplish different tasks in Laulima. Notice that we have two different tools right now on our Laulima site, the Discussions and Private Messages tool and the Forums tool. Both of these tools are used for facilitating online discussions, but you really only need one for your class site. To remove the Discussion and Private Messages tool, I'll click on Site Info and then Tool Order. This will allow me to change the order of the tools as they are displayed on the left-hand side of my site. I can also edit the title of each tool individually for the site. I can decide if I want the tool to be visible or invisible to my students. So if it has the icon of an eye next to it, that means that it will be invisible to my students but visible to me as the instructor. And I can also delete tools from this section. After I save the changes, my page will refresh and I'll notice that my Discussion and Private Messages tool has disappeared. Laulima does provide a wide range of different functions for your class site. In this case, I'd like to add the Gradebook to my site. So I'll click on the Gradebook button. Notice that it shows up here on the right side. And when I click on Continue, the page will refresh. I'll confirm that I wanted to add the Gradebook tool, and now it shows up here at the bottom. The Gradebook tool is connected automatically to some of the tools within my site, but not to all of them. In some cases, I'll need to add Gradebook items individually. So I'll click on the Add Gradebook item, create a title, create a point value, and a due date. You can move within the Gradebook settings to change the points or percentages, to change the letter grade values. And at the end of the semester, you can even use the Gradebook tool to publish to Banner to upload your students' grades. Now let's discuss the steps you'll need to take to upload your syllabus. The example that is included in this tab is the recommended UHWO accessible syllabus template. It includes all of the required text as well as formatting for the different components of a syllabus. You can also find instructions about how to create a syllabus in Google Drive, copy the link, and embed the link here in Laulima. The first thing we'll want to do is download our own copy of this syllabus template. So click on the Sites waffle and then click on the UHWO Online DE site. This will take you to the Distance Learning Laulima site. Click on the Syllabus tab and then click on the Open in a New Window button. Right now we're looking at the Google Doc version of the syllabus. Notice that I am logged in as myself on this account, and that will allow me to create a copy of this template in my own Google Drive. So I'm making sure that this copy will save to my Google Drive, and then I'll click OK. Now this copy is ready for me to edit and include all of my own material for the semester. The first thing I'll do is change the title of it. Now I'm ready to edit within the document itself. Anything in green should be edited to match the specifics of your course. After you have finished editing, make sure that you change the green to black. When you are ready to include the syllabus in your site, you'll need to create a shareable link. So click on the blue Share button at the top, and then click on the Get Shareable Link button. We'll need to change the settings to be a little more accessible. So in this case, I'm changing it to anyone with the link. That means that anyone who has this link will be able to see this syllabus. I only want them to be able to view instead of edit or comment, so I'll leave the setting as view. Now copy this URL and go back into your Laulima site. If you get lost in the steps, you can scroll down on the site and refer back to these instructions. Right now we are on step 4. We already have the link copied, and now we're ready to add it to our page. We'll click on the Add Content plus icon and then select Embed Content on Page. We'll add our URL in this text box and click on Save. Now click on Try Other Alternative and then click on Save again. When the page refreshes, we should be able to see the syllabus that we have uploaded to our Google Drive. So here it is here. I can see it and I can access it. Your students will be able to download it if they need to. So now as the instructor, you can go through and delete the information that you no longer need. And when your site is published, your students will only be able to see your syllabus. The advantage of hosting your syllabus within your Google Drive is that if you need to make any changes, you'll be able to edit it right away from your Google Drive, and those changes will show up automatically on your Laulima site. Now let's organize your Google Drive. If you're unfamiliar with Google Drive, one of the easiest ways to access it is through your UHGmail. You'll click on the waffle at the top and then click on Drive. The files in the Quick Access section are things that you've opened recently. I can scroll down to find that syllabus document that I created earlier. What I want to do is create a folder for this semester's course, and then I can include everything for this semester in that folder. So now that I've created that folder, I'll go back down to the syllabus document, right-click on it, and move it into the folder. I can go through all of my files and add a little bit more organization to my drive to make it easier for me to manage throughout the semester. Earlier, you learned how to import material from another site to replace all of the information on a new site. In this case, I'm going to show you how to merge data. So that means that you will pull information from a different site and merge it with the information that's already included in your new site. So, for example, in the spring, I taught a course that included an images folder in the resources tool. And that's what I really want to gather from this site. Since you can't choose a particular file that you want to merge over, you have to choose the entire tool. What I'm going to do is merge the entire resources folder from my spring site into my fall site. So I'll click on the Site Info tool in my new site, the one that I'm teaching in the fall, and then I'll click on I would like to merge my data. So I'll find the spring site because that's the site I want to pull from and click on Continue. And now I'll go down to the Resources tool and check the box for resources. Remember that I can't just pull one individual file, I have to pull them all. So I may need to go back into my resources folder and delete anything that I don't want to use, but I do see that the images folder has been pulled over, and that was what was most important to me. So now I can access it on my new site. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, you can email us or you can visit our microsite for more information. If you'd like individual sessions, you can stop by our office. We hope that you have a great semester.